So, Mirage, Inferno, Dust 2, Ence, Vitality, and a pistol round is right here. Hugo Byron, will you do the honors?
Yes, indeed, Trace. We got to boost up. We got ZywOo setting the new boy on the block above the top of the triple boxes. Mizuta looking for that A contact. Ence, this is a very, very strange Mirage pistol round. They are split, spread up, and one per position, just watching for aggression. Vitality not going to be bringing the heat, though. Just waiting. 3 players on this A site. Almost a retake setup as well with Shox just waiting. I'm not sure what Shox is even doing. He's setting up a flashbang for his teammate inside of B if Ence were to go for a rush, but those Ts congregating back towards a spawn and setting up for an A default.
Yeah, it looks like Shox wants to throw a nice little pop flash. Unfortunately for him, there's no one over there to receive it, at least within immediate danger. Sunny, the closest one, he's just going to go ahead and back out of apartments as it stands, while the rest of Ence setting themselves up for something sneaky, something tricky over here at the A site. They're going to run into 3 members entrenched there, Vitality. 1 player underneath the balcony, 1 in Sandwich, and 1 in Masuda, just kind of floating through the site.
Oh, flashbang's gone in, and Masuda is blind. ZywOo and Apex, though, they're not, and ZywOo is already styling. This better not just feel like some puggy scrim to ZywOo.
That's exactly
I'm worried that that's what this is going to happen. This bomb is dropped out in the open. There's 10 seconds. Ence,
This is over.
yeah, man, they've got to go.
Just pack it up.
And if they don't go now, they just don't go at all. Yeah, Ollie just runs to his death.
Now that is what I'm talking about.
That's a weird one,
It's like, what else can he do? You know, Ollie, if he lets that time tick down to like 3 seconds before he tries to make that push, they're just going to wait. And then you're going to be, you know, no money after a pistol.
Vitality was set up for every single occasion there as well, right? Ence, they went for this default. They imagined, you know, Vitality would have maybe some disrespect in their veins, you know, maybe pushing the top and middle or getting aggressive with those USPs. They weren't. They were just triple stacked up on A if Ence were to hit that site. They'd given up mid, and they had a heavy B setup with that pop flash for set up by Shox. So wherever Ence went, they were walking into a prepared Vitality, and they walked into the more stacked of the 2. Certainly not what they wanted.
Well, now they're going to be walking into some weapons and some flashes. Sunny just shooting them all out of that deagle. It's going to be Apex that does capitalize on that entire affair. Pistols falling to the ground just as fast as they were bought there for Ence. Would appear as though it's not so easy now, is it?
Easier said than done, Trace. 3 men left up for this T side.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work in the hashtag. The easier said than done for Ence. But
it's got grip. I'm telling you, someone's going to grab one of that, and it's going to take off like wildfire.
Have we got enough characters?
120 characters. Maybe though they removed that though, right? So
yeah, they changed.
I don't know. Social media is for the birds and the kids.
I don't tweet.
Anyway, the retake here for the side of Vitality. Ariel and Sergey very low. Sergey on 19 HP, and well, they're just going to make mincemeat of him there in the site. The defuse coming in with ease, actually. So, as you would expect, now we're going to look at a round here. Well, the money not being super awesome for Ence still.
Yeah, it was a weird one, right? They heavily invested. They get a bomb plant, but not able to get too much more. No damage, so Vitality is still going to be absolutely fine when it comes to that economy. And Ence, I mean, these maybe armor, P250, whatever you really want, but it's not going to be enough. It should just be a 3-0 lead for Vitality straight out of the gate, and that's kind of nice. What I expected.
Yeah, it's pretty like par for the course right now. We've got like a bit of investment in this round from Ence, but it's not really anything to get excited about just yet. Oh, nades well timed from ZywOo. Of course it is. Lots of red on the screen as damage is done either way. Shox has now moved into position over here toward the catwalk. Apex emerging down in the connector. Actually only going to get 1 before he's degged down from Sunny. 4-on-4 and a weapon that can be retrieved over in middle. It's only that UMP, so they don't really put a lot of stock in it. They decide actually to leave mid in its entirety. Vitality have had now to split this defense up. They've got 2 players at catwalk, 2 back in the A bomb site. This is going to leave them a little bit of a ways away when it comes to retaking this A side of the map. Because, you know, you've only got 2 players here. The remainder, they're deep within B. Maybe, you know, you can look towards Shox to help out a bit. But for there's a timing where Ence are going to have this 4v2 over towards A. And maybe then there's something for them to work with.
Oh, Mizuto's not going to get a chance to use his utility either. He is stuck on the balk. He doesn't want to give away his position, but they don't have nades to flush him out, so they're just going to walk in one by one. Mizuto takes the first. The bomb dropped to the ground. ZywOo's been dropped, and Mizuto's got to do it all on his own. 3 frags is more than you can ask for under the balcony, but eventually Ence will overwhelm him. It's still a round for Vitality, though. Trades are just fine, and that's the 3-0 lead. Yeah,
that is certainly not the recipe, as they were saying, that you're going to be looking for right here. Ence starting 3-0 down. We're going to see some rifles come back out, and an AWP there in Alu's hands. So perhaps a chance for them to get something going. Now, there's this guy on the other team, and his name is ZywOo.
ZywOo?
And ZywOo. Now, if you say it 3 times fast, well, who knows what happens?
ZywOo.
Oh, you didn't say it 3 times fast.
I had like an aneurysm halfway through that.
Well,
I thought he was going for the mid pick. Unfortunately, Trace, it was a top mid smoke from Ence, and they cut off his line of sight. Just a grenade.
Hang on. He's going to CT, and there's 3 players up in Palace, so maybe we summon him now. ZywOo, ZywOo, ZywOo. Let's go, baby. First man down. He's in for another. Misuta's here to help him out, and that bomb is already dropped up towards the apartments.
Oh, boy.
We've said his name 3 times. We've spoke of the devil, and he's here, but he's just kind of loitering, you know? Like,
just hanging out.
It's not the most heinous of crimes just yet, but there's always time for it to get worse. ZywOo.
He's parked on a double yellow, Harry.
He is.
Give him a ticket.
And he said he's only nipped in for a moment, but we don't believe him.
Ooh.
He's been here all week long, and ZywOo's in with another. Alu, last man standing up in Palace, but no surprises. That's a shutdown. And Team Vitality, 4-0.
I'd love to see, I just feel like I never see any confidence out of Ence anymore, or at least not in this game so far. Where are these fast plays that got them so well known back at Katowice? Where are the confident trade frags and, you know, the heavy flashbang executes? Ence just filtering one after the other through Palace, not even, you know, getting a kill on that A site apart from Alu with the AWP. So, yeah, it just feels like, you know, Ence have lost their identity, and that kind of matches what we were saying before the game, you know, with them running potentially Alexi B strat out of spawn. You know, if you don't have the same in-game leader, maybe switch it up. But, you know, who knows how true that is? We don't know what's going on in the TeamSpeak events. But right now, slow rounds are not their bread and butter.
Yeah, we can only speculate. You are absolutely correct. And again, they're going to try to hit this A site here. Ooh. And certainly, that is not going to help the war effort there for the side of Ence. Apex finding one through the smoke. Mizuta doing what he can from the ticket booth, which is going to net him 2 kills on X7 and Sunny, make it 3, and this round was over as fast as it started. Sergey, 1v5 with a deagle. Can he grab at least 1? Yep. Can he grab 2? Going for 2, 2, 2, 2. And he grabs 2 somehow.
Fair play.
That was, well, it was rather unfortunate for Mizuta, but they do end the round out, 5-0.
We're early days, and of course Mizuta is playing A, which is where Ence have gone every single round. But he certainly started it off well, 9-2, 140 ADR. Getting some frags, Harry.
Mate, the only thing that's sad is it's just like Ence from, you know, 5-6 months ago. That's the 5 stack of Finns I come up against in matchmaking. And now the Ence is more like my Finnish teammates when I end up with 4 of them in my team. And it's sad to see, right? Like this was a team that used to be so fun to watch, dude. You remember some of just the madness of it. The fact that you have Alu in this squad is like the old boy of the team, you know, like here on the AWP, and then you had Alexi B, the young gun, making the decisions. You had all these talents in the young guns on this squad, and it is just like a little bit sad
stale
to see them like looking so stale in the server. I really was hoping. I mean, okay, it's still early days. Right? We're 6 rounds in.
We've been saying this after months.
That's the problem. Yeah, you know, we're not looking at this in a vacuum. This is there's been a lot going on with this team.
Well, let's see if Vitality can suck the life out of Ence here in the 6th round. It's a mid push. Finally, Vitality. They've had enough of waiting, Harry. They don't want to sit around and let Ence play their game. They're going to try and force fights, and unfortunately for them, Apex gets picked up. Mizuta late to the trade, and he just about gets it as Sunny crosses around the corner. Luckily, Apex had laid him up with damage, and so low HP as he tried to escape mid. Now just defaulting into a B play. We've got a Palace lurk for Sergey that can come in late, but these players need to be successful out of the apartments. They're not. RPK finding the first kill. The Molotov cuts off the next 2. The lurk has gone out of Palace. And what the hell do you even have? You're in a 2-on-4. You have no utility. Trace, where do you go from here?
2-on-4 with over a minute left on the clock. You're not going anywhere fast, I'll tell you that, Hugo. We look at this, they're going to have to back out. Just Alu and X7. And they're going to have that AWP and Alu. Now, again, this is one of the veterans of the squad. Twista did tell us that he was one of the guys to sort of pick up the vibe when things were looking a little low. But things are starting to dip. Don't know if they'd consider them low yet. You know, finish standards, I guess. So, nonetheless, nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Looks like they want to pressure connector a little bit. Looks like they want to try to take a fight. You know, Alu's op get out in front of it. 30 seconds left on the clock. Oh, quick reaction there. Mizuta is going to be on the other side, the receiving end of the AWP. So now with 1 kill towards the connector is going to kind of open up this A side a little bit. Just bringing a rotation in, though, which when the rotation is ZywOo, that's never a good time for anyone else.
Very good Molotov. That cuts off RBK. He can't stop these players from getting on top of the A site. And luckily, Vitality still have 2 men here, but that bomb pod is going to get down. Shock's coming out from the palace. He has to spam the smoke, and he's won the round for Vitality. I assumed the cover would be there, but Alu, so many places to watch, and he didn't know where Vitality were coming from. They were burrowed in behind enemy lines. A nice try. You know, they made something of that 2-on-4. They get a bomb plant, they get a kill. But ultimately meaningless. 6-0, and still yet to field a round on this T side. Things have got to change. And I ain't just talking about the roster.
Whoa.
No, that's a joke.
Now that's Hugo Byron. Now let's go ahead and make sure
we got a post-it note lying around, Trace. Shall we throw you a couple down there?
No, I'm cool. I'll remember that one forever, so it's fine. Mirage still very early stages, as you said. 6-0, though. Not looking pretty. Let's see what Ence can do to rally any sort of rounds here would be a good start. 5 AKs in this round. We're going to put some pressure on middle, as well as teaming up there with the underpass. Looks like Ence wanted to slow it down to the point where obviously a little bit of a default is in session here. But basically anything that they can get going at this point is going to help.
Yeah, it's their map pick as well, right? So T-side is where you really want to be laying on those rounds heavy, especially on a map like Mirage, in a game that's become more and more T-sided as time has gone on.
Here's something else as well, right? Like that bench got added in to the window down in bottom of mid, and I feel like, you know, we have started to see the meta really kind of shift a bit on Mirage, and that mid, like, even though it fell out of popularity a hell of a lot with CT sides when it came to kind of contesting it, I feel like you never see a mid player anymore. And what Vitality have been doing is this really nice 3-man A setup. Now, this is something Ence haven't been able to get past. This is the closest they would have come to doing that, right? They're sat a man up. They've got through the connector. They've actually forced some of these bodies away from the A-bomb site. But right there, that Molotov is fantastic to force a player out into the open. Alu gets revenge. But Mizuta, come on, you've only been in this team for, like, what, a matter of...
minutes?
Let's hear that math.
And he's coming... I tried to work it out in, like, minutes in days doing the conversion, but that's just not happening,
No one is covering this bomb.
Man, he's coming on this flank. You can't do this to him already. Come on, man, you can't. He's in the back line. Okay, X7 gets revenge. Thank goodness. Looking for a little bit more, and now down to the 1v1. X7's got to try and save the day. Ooh, Apex is out from CT, though, just a little bit ahead of time, and he never gets seen. Sprays him through the edge of the box. Team Vitality 7-0.
Not just in this round, but in so many rounds, we're seeing someone from Vitality kill the bomb player. It gets dropped, and no one ever trying to trade, no one ever trying to protect. Now, I understand in that position with it going down in con, but even the second time where you had that mid player come and drop him from connector, that bomb is just left over on bench. Whoever's dropped the bomb there, his teammates were in jungle and A site. You know, there's just no cover. There's no teamwork getting that bomb down onto the A site. I don't know, this is such a weird game without direction for Ence, and a second tactical pause, a moment to mull it all over and try and work out what the hell is going wrong. But yeah, again, like Twista said in that interview, this is a strong squad. Yes, Vitality may have lost some direction, but hey, these guys individually are good enough to be a top 5 team regardless. So, you know, maybe they don't have Alex in the roster, but they do have firepower, and they are showcasing that very well. Mizuta having a grand opening here to the season 11 of ESL Pro League. 11-4 right now, and no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, he's certainly doing his bit over there, especially when you think about the push he just, you know, acquired so much information on top of that, and then he's able to just sort of lurk around the back lines, gets a frag out of it. Ultimately, they win the round. Did come down to a 1v1, but nonetheless, they got the job done. So Vitality up 7-0 currently over Ence, the Finnish esports organization from Finland. Harry Russell?
Yeah, it's been a while, though, since those northern lights have flashed and the winds have howled.
Oh, no, this is such
It's been a long old summer, man, over in Finland this time around. But look, how Sunny managed to catch this time in. They've gone from like just cowering all half long to suddenly he's all the way in jungle and no one from Vitality even knows. This is kind of by design though. Surely, yeah, Vitality are aware that this portion of the map has been left open. The way that they've elected to use this mid area of the map is kind of unlike I've ever seen any team do thus far. Shox and RPK dealing with this apartment's aggression diligently. X7 going to get one, but he's immediately cancelled out as well. Sunny, he's still in jungle. Yeah. He's where he was 30 seconds ago, so we know that. We know he's here.
But that's the thing, we've had so many lurks from Ence, and I don't, you know, maybe that happens in your MM game, you can scream at them for being a beta, but, you know, Sunny, he couldn't do anything there. Yeah. He was being covered by the AWP, he's waiting for his teams to get into the B site, and then he's meant to come in on the backstab. Yeah. But unfortunately...
And they never even survived the journey into B. Not to mention, the only one timing he could have got, sadly, kind of rings out a little too soon with that ZywOo kill onto the player coming up through short. The man who was watching him finally left, but...
Ence were trying to keep Vitality into this heavy A setup as well. That was an attempted read by throwing in those A smokes. Vitality, for the first round all game, didn't have anyone in A. They were playing CT, so they just stacked the B site, and Ence walked right into it. So Vitality, they've got great reads so far. They're clearly knowing what's going on, and they're not falling for any of Ence's shenanigans. And so respect where that is due.
Yes, respect where respect is due.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Might have to write that on a post-it note later.
Trace, I'm not sensing much respect from you at the moment.
I got tons of respect.
I'm watching you.
Put some respect on my name. Couple C's on that respect as well. Anyway, you're going to respect RPK. He's going to take down Sunny. Gives us a 4v5. Now, again, this is a weapon round for Ence, so they should be able to get something going. But as it stands, when you lose that opening pick, that certainly doesn't help the case. Bomb's going to go ahead and rotate through T-spawn now towards this A site. And that is going to give us a showdown on A.
Look at it. There's 4 players here for Vitality. It's like they know. I don't even know what to tell Ence at this point.
Have we put a delay on the stream,
yeah,
guys?
it's like... it's like they're cursed or something.
Someone cover the mini-map.
Shox is getting spammed, but he's undetected. They might think this is clear because they've spammed it. They've thrown utility in. Shox still hasn't moved. There's players everywhere else. Are you even going to check this corner? Is Shox just going to kill absolutely everyone from his little hidey hole? They certainly don't seem aware.
Still there.
Oh, come on. We've been waiting all round. And ooh, that was a nice one. Nice little flick from X7, but it doesn't matter because Team Vitality are 9-0 up.
You can lose, but as long as you look cool doing it. That's what one of those other proverbs said.
It's all about the rounds. That's what matters at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look good. You just have to win the game. And boy, are Vitality doing that right now. And it is looking pretty.
Very pretty. 9-0. I would love to know the official start time of this map versus where we end up. It's always fascinating to me. You know, obviously some games take a considerable amount of more time, and this one is appearing to not. Still, though, first half of the game, Hugo.
Yeah, I'd like to see a fast cat to be, something like that from Ence. They've really tried this A site over and over, and it's not been good to them. That being said, this round, it might be, because there's only one man here. The rotate's already coming through. Mizuta kills that mid-lurk of Sergey, and Apex is holding the cross. He's just going to spray them all down. Forget it. Get out of here. 10-0 to Vitality, and Apex is just dominating.
Yeah, he lined him up pretty swell there. I just got word, too, that it is an official 20 minutes since the game started. We look at now double digits for Vitality after Apex is really knocking him down. Gets a 4K right there. Good stuff from him.
Time flies when you're having fun, Trace. I bet this feels like a moment for Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, at least for Ence, you know, it's probably going to feel like a couple hours. If you think about it. Yeah, lifetime. 10-0, Harry. This is what we're looking at. This is what we've been given. You are the doctor. This is what you prescribed. You are wearing a lab coat in the studio.
Yeah. Harry, what medication do Ence need to take to get out of this round?
At this point, I would say any sort of painkiller because they've got a real pounding going on. Is
that what you take?
Well, you guys are on your own
a pounding headache, man. But yeah, you know, then I realized.
Look, we're going to get a bomb plan out of this. We're going to get a 3-3.
This is actually the best chance Ence have had. It's over towards the B bomb site. Hugo, you said that you would love to see a bit more towards B. Now, is that the answer that Ence needed this whole time? They get that bomb down. They're set up. X7's going to be holding short. He's been really the man that we've been kind of looking to create space for this team. This time he gets deleted. Ariel's got no space over at bench. with that Molotov down. And so Vitality are very, very clean in the retake. I tell you what, right, coming into this, you know, we were saying we don't know what to expect, but upon kind of reflecting on it and seeing what they're doing with Masuta in this map right now, it feels like Vitality are just taking, and you know, I don't know if it's because it's been a lot more comfortable than perhaps they anticipated, or if it's because of the nature of Pro League right now and the fact that it has shifted over into the online environment. Maybe they're letting Masuta run a bit more wild, because they were saying how CT side, they're leaving him to anchor these bomb sites. They're not really going to be mobilizing him just much or too much just yet, but they do want to expand his pool of knowledge and get him good at everything. And we've seen Masuta really switching up his position a hell of a lot. He's leading the charge right now for Vitality. So this is very, very different to how they said they were going to use him in that interview. And it does still kind of align with the idea that they want to train him up. This round, though, fast playing towards A and a 3-on-3 as Aerial's doubled up.
Apex just gets out of dodge there as well. They were hounding him down for the trade kill, but he gets into the connector, and Vitality, they can set up for a retake, or they can force fights. RPK will go right for it, and blink and you miss it. 3 kills from 3 separate players. Vitality send Ence packing yet again.
I can only imagine how many people over on the HLTV.org forums are getting ready with that massive wall. No. That massive wall spam of 16-0.
He said it.
I said it. Now let's see what happens.
It's out in the open.
Don't want to jinx it, but there's a real chance.
Ence have had 3 pom plants in this game so far. The only one that was even actually, you know, a post plant they could contest was the previous round where they were on B, and Vitality didn't lose a player in the retake. The other 2 bomb plants have been on eco rounds where they got close, but immediately traded the second the plant comes in.
It's something else, man. Just then we had a stat that said that the Vitality have doubled the flash assists of Ence, and I think that speaks volumes, because as we've been seeing these fights go down, as we've been seeing these head-to-heads, it does feel like Vitality are like a bunch of pack animals. You know, they are grouped up together. They're setting each other up as it should be. And Ence, that's just not been happening. It's been a lot of this, right? Like Sunny walking through connector. Okay, great. Maybe he gets into window like he did last time. Maybe he gets into jungle. But when he got there, he couldn't do anything last time, and he's completely alone. So now X7's coming on this wrap to try and deal with the man in con. Apex should get caught out here, and indeed he will. Can X7 get anything else done? Yes, he can. The CZ's come to life now. But Shox is there to deal with him before he gets out of hand. So Team Vitality 13-0. Ence, 2 more rounds left to try and start something off.
Well, I mean, usually you'd say something like, "Oh, caster's curse." Well, good thing I'm not a caster, so there's that.
You're just cursed as is.
Just cursed, just generalized.
Yeah, this is crazy. The double orb's coming out of Trace as well, and that's when you know things are really getting rough for Ence, because they were having trouble with ZywOo, but now Shox, 2 in the previous round. He's on it as well. Dear God, someone help him.
Yeah, Sergey's going to get out in front of the fight here. Sunny's going to follow it up. Real chance for Ence in this round. 5v3, Harry.
Yeah, this is... Oh, Masuta. I like the confidence there. Just barrels into middle, set up by RPK's flashbang, gets himself on. Vitality shouldn't win this round, right? They haven't challenged mid all half long, and there they just take the gunfight straight up. No anything in that engagement. I feel like that's just a confidence round from Vitality, a bit of BM. And so this should be a round that Ence punish them for that in. And so if Shox is somehow able to turn this around, then that's insane. But this shouldn't happen. You know, there's never a world where you get given those 2 kills early on. The enemy team should rise back up.
Now, let's roll it back, Shoxy. What year are you going to show us right here? This is what I'm going to be looking at. He's got this AWP on the retake. He's going to try to get in real quick and quiet, like real Silent Snake status as he works his way into the site. He's just holding on. He goes to check jail. Hasn't looked up towards apartments yet. Of course, they're onto him. It's going to be X7 that gives that first round to Ence. They do it with 3 alive, and that's something.
It's something. It's not a lot, though. And it might be swiftly drawn to an end if Vitality can bounce back. You know they got money. They just won 13 rounds in a row. So still plenty of cash.
I think as well, right, this is where Apex, who, by the way, considering he's in this leadership role, having a great game, like, you know.
I don't think you can read into a 30
Yeah, that's true.
They're not really being challenged.
Well, look, anyway, man, point I was trying to make, you know, you can't address this like it's an everyday game, I guess. But I think, you know, with Team Vitality there, as we were saying, they haven't fought mid all game long. They throw that in, and now, look, they're immediately back to not challenging. I think they know that they just fed that one to Ence. That wasn't really the Finns having to answer back in a very big way. And I think it was just Vitality seeing what they can get away with. Now, they shouldn't let this spiral out of control, because this is where things can get deadly. This is how you can get in your own head. And if Ence have been able to find their footing on the back of it, I don't know, that's stellar, but this bomb is a long way away. Shox has got himself one kill over here towards Catwalk. He hears a player rotating in through the apartments. Is he going to know that there's still players inside of the site, though? Because he hears the bomb, but yeah, X7 wins the fight anyway. And hence, they're going to get 2 rounds at the very end. Vitality leading the charge with 13th. Ending at such a rate like this, you want to be as aerodynamic as possible, right?
Hit the ground faster.
Yeah, you want it to all come... Anyway, right, so this is it. This is the round back in. Vitality, 13-2. Stellar stuff from them.
Lol.
I was just wondering if they'd gone like full-on Frank Reynolds, you know, like just want to be pure, shaved heads, covered in hand sanitizer. But here's the flash into the apartments, an aerial. It's a nice flash from X7. That's one that you can throw for your teammates at home. Now the push coming in to the B-bomb site, and they get out through the window. They climb on in, the home invaders, the our team Vitality, and they have invaded the home of Ence in a very, very big way.
Yeah.
They actually, they just own the B-bomb set, mate. They own it straight up. You know, they don't even have the deeds on the Ence side anymore. They're gone. They were lost in the move. Team Vitality 14-2, and this could be a very, very fast first map of the night for us.
Those GG bet odds are looking very reasonable. And that's for the series, as far as I'm aware as well, which is, wow, okay. This is map 1. This is Ence's pick as well. Do remember that. Now we're moving on to the favored side. And a B-rush to, well, I don't want to say end it, but probably end it.
Now, there's one word that I think has been used to describe situations like this, and it's going to have to be oof.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if that's really a word, but
Yikes.
you guys get the sentiment, right? Yikes, that's so 2019, man. Come on, bro.
You get with it high.
Jeez. Oof. Anyway, keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be some rifles out here for Vitality. They're not messing around at all. Alu with the scout. And window smoke coming through, so they're going to get a little leeway here towards middle, albeit 14-2. Not where you want to find yourself on the comeback.
Well, Sergey the Eagle is going to best Masuta there in the head-to-head. That's now an AK retrieved onto a player that has armor. So if you want to look for silver linings, there's always that. Ence sat a man up. Sergey repositioning with that AK. Apex has already got this forward position over in connector. Now Ence aren't really aware of this man's position.
I just can't believe you'd call Ence that, Harry. Silver lining? Come on, man. That's just so rude. Anyway, speaking of which, Sunny taking down ZywOo should help things just a little bit. They are up in a numbers advantage here, at least the inside is.
Yeah, but still 3 rifles for Vitality. Although Sergey's got himself a gun, that's certainly helpful. Let's see if one of these B-splits that Ence, failed to do many times can come through. Actually, it's not going to be the case. They'll go back towards connector. They have this lurk of Apex that is now becoming the reckoning force as they try and push in through the jungle. Got to take over the A site. Sergey's pushed in on the ramp, and if it's an open plant, he should be able to seal this round shut. 20 seconds. They've got to do it sooner rather than later. Alu is waiting in the spawn. He's dropped the bomb as well. That might just be the round in and of itself. Sergey peering out from the ramp and just Apex. He may as well try and just get some frags, but Frank is in and Ence have taken a 3rd round on this CT side.
Yeah, not exactly welcome to the jungle with fun and games there for Team Vitality as Ence lock in that 3rd round. And still a chance for them to recover, albeit a very, very minimal one. Vitality are having fun at this event, winning over 60% of total rounds in their 3 matches thus far, 2 of which they've won. There was a lot of words and numbers in that stat. Hugo, did you digest it?
They've won 2 out of 3 games, Harry.
There we go. I think yeah, there was a bit more in there, I'm pretty sure, but yeah.
66% of rounds. They're winning more than 66% of rounds here, Harry, almost 100. But still, yeah, an eco, I guess a force buy. Well, Ence set up heavily in middle. Alu, 4 kills. Rough start to the game. He even had the AWP a couple of rounds on that T side. It's a fast mid play. And oh dear, ZywOo getting caught first. Sunny will get traded in mid. Alu stuck on the cinder box, but no one punishing it. RPK just waiting for the repeat, but the smoke allows Alu to escape. However, it does also allow Vitality to boost up and jump into the window room if they want to try and fight back. It's not like they've got many other options right now. A man down. 1 gun to play with. That is in middle going up catwalk. He's going towards that B site, but Aerial waiting in the wings, and this is just a looking like a done deal for now. Ence should be able to get rid of these Deagles without too much of a problem.
You are absolutely correct. 1v4 with 14 HP on Apex. He's going to work his way towards the underpass and push straight through it. Not a whole lot of room to run here, though. That's going to help things. Takes down Alu, so maybe gets himself one more. He did decide to stick around. That did not prove to be the proper play, but however, he did have insurmountable odds. So we're going to see another round here going for Ence. And the dream's alive, Harry.
Hey, it's still alive. You know, admittedly, it's still a dream as well. You know, it's still a little ways away from being reality, but these are how these things begin, right? And in a way, if you're looking at Ence, they kind of had like the perfect recipe if you wanted to get in Vitality's head, in the sense that Vitality have just let, like, you know, what's this? What's this idea?
They wait for someone to push top mid, and the person clears the corner, and Ence, Vitality will kill him, get a gun, and then, well, do what they want with it.
All right, I like this.
This gives us some time.
Formation. Look at this, man. This is dynamic. This is the French scene. This is what it is now. They're supporting each other. It's a physical representation as much as it is a nice idea. And look at Alu. He's about to discover it. Oh, it's bowling, and it's a split, man. That's pretty horrible. He only gets one. So now they've got that kill. What are they going to do?
More question is, what are Ence going to do? Because it's like seeing the 5-man boost on Overpass. You immediately realize that, okay, everyone's in spawn. We can take map control. Aerial's pushed underpass. Sergey's taken the ramp. We've got a man watching the top of middle, and Aerial is just going to get a kill and duck out. No reason to throw a rifle away. Because remember, the gun that Ence gave to Vitality was only an SMG. That's not of too much use. X7's going to be the one having to hold his own here on the bench as he tucks in on the jail. Armorless opponents on the other side. He should be able to get all three.
Yeah, you should be able to line them up with pretty quick succession here. They're going to jump out onto this B site, clearing the corners, proper on them. The M4 does prove to take down, Mizuta. At least a bomb plant here for the side of Vitality. Probably not much more on top of that. Shock was already pretty low. ZywOo, never say never, but in this situation, that was never going to happen. Yeah, so there you see it. Ence picking up a 5th. They're still in this fight.
That's a great example of how to get, 2 kills in a bomb plant on a full eco round. Just sit on your teammate's head and spawn. Although, what if someone
sanction that as like advice for people to take for home usage?
I mean, I'm already getting baited in my game, so why not bait with them?
Who would you say, out of your peer group? Because obviously we all, know each other. We all are pretty front-facing group of guys. Who is the biggest baiter?
Mitch man, 100%. No contest. Comes to me straight away.
Biggest baiter.
Probably Dinko.
Wow.
It's just
went straight for those two.
It literally is. If they're anything to do with Ireland, the odds are they will just leave you to go in first, and they will sit there and they will and maybe Hugo is up on that list as well.
Yeah. According to Rush, if you're asking Rush.
And Shad and Henry and me. That's the list. Sonny's over in mid though, and he is taking the fight to ZywOo.
No baiting on this station here for Vitality. They are heavy in middle, although they are going to leave. Get one player back up the top side and take Catwalk instead. A man in the apartments does open up the possibility for a B split here. And there is only one man to stop them. Again, it's X7. He was able to field only 1 kill on that defense against the Eco. So this time, he's got to stand tall, but a good position. Does Shox expect the pushed-up player in a path? He's going to look for it, but he is dead. X7 holding his own, but again, only one. Traded by Mizuta, who will be able to cross towards the site. This bomb can get planted, and Ence are in for a retake.
Oh, and Sonny trying to land the spray transfer, traded by RPK. Now he knows at least where one of these players are, and now he's holding the door. In the meantime, Sergey snuck out through the window. RPK. Good night, man. Gets caught with the Molotov in hand. Ence are going to grab that defuse. And now 6-14. It's still a long ways away. I'm not going to start saying, oh, well, Vitality, they've got to start getting worried, because they don't. They don't have to start getting worried yet. But it's surely got to start to be in the back of your minds like, all right, guys, come on, let's not let them get this any closer.
Well, it won't be this round, or actually, they're going to go with some MAC-10s and some Deagles here.
I respect this. This is exactly what you should be doing when you have a heavy lead, right? Because not only are these rounds winnable, but you can also just bank up so much money. Instead of buying at the 4,200 and getting AKs and a couple flashes and a smoke, now you've got everything next round. You've got the ore, you've got full utility, you've got Kriegs. And you've also got a chance to, not only keep the money low, but maybe even upset in this round. Let's see if Vitality can surprise and impress as Aerial sets up a flashbang. This time, First time in ever, we've got 2 players on the B site to hold their own, and boy, have they got to do that.
Yes, they certainly do. They're going to come out at a furious pace here onto this B site.
No.
Shock's just driving by with the MAC-10. Eventually, that does catch up with him. Alu's going to be there with AWP to answer it. The bomb being planted, though, does put the ball completely into Vitality's court at this point. 4v3 retake, Harry.
Yeah, ZywOo's actually throwing a gun over to RPK, tried to help him out, but all that's done is line them both up for Sergey. And so now this man advantage lies with the Finns, Apex, and Masuta. It's the makeshift IGL and his new man falling under the wing to try and see this through. Masuta and Apex, they've got it down to now a 1v1, and it's Sunny on the other side. Apex swings out with the Deagle and gives him one in the dome. Team Vitality, 15 rounds, and they get it done with a cobbled together buy. The money now is just blowing out of control for Team Vitality over on this T side. They've got AWPs coming out their ears if they would like. And this should be all said and done, friends, really, now.
Yeah, this is too ugly. Don't you dare cobble into this. Please don't.
Dear, oh dear. And, I mean, this is the last legs. They are being put down by Vitality. Sunny has made the cat jump up middle, but no one here for Vitality to fight back. Ooh, Alu, he's taking first blood, pushed right into middle as well, dropping Masuta. Going back towards the underpass for a little bit more, and RPK will follow in tow as well. 2 kills down below as Ence take a 5-on-3. Vitality, still plenty of time to get back into this round, and there's only 1 man committed inside of A, so going for this set piece here and now on the A site may give them a chance to get a bomb plant and a feasible situation.
Yeah, do or die time here, friends, at least on map 1. If you're just joining us, there is Inferno, and then there is potentially Dust 2. But at the current rate, at the current trajectory Ence are showing, that 3rd map might not be necessary. We're going to keep our eyes peeled on it. Looks like that of Vitality is going to work their way towards the A side.
What was that?
That was a nice little peek there from Sergey. Taking out Shox in Palace, and here comes the remaining 2 members out the ramp, right into the crosshairs there, Sergey.
I like the reposition. He's so fast in getting not only out of the palace, but sneaking on the ladder under the balk that the player crossing A side didn't even check it. Didn't even check it. They looked at it, but it's like one of those checks where you're running past. You're not hard peeking it. You're not expecting a player there. You're just going to react if they are. But Sergey doubles up, gets the info on the last, and dinks Apex to 1. So it's a nice clean round for Ence at the end of the day. 15-7. But finally, Vitality taking another eco. If you're in this position, there's nothing worse than having to eco, because you know you can just win any round really at this point if you fully invest. Go for MAC-10, send them B, it might work. But I respect Vitality for playing safe and not throwing away rounds, although that's pretty close. Sunny, 3 kills with the Krieg in middle. This one is all said and done again.
Yeah, the stats had to come through at some point here for Ence, and that's certainly a round where they're going to find some. RPK and Shox, the only 2 left alive. And with the bomb down in top middle, they're going to attempt to do something strange here. Boosting up into the window. It's going to be Shox trying to find his way to jungle. However, Sunny just given a smidge of his leg there, and that's going to be the end of his run. RPK is able to pick up an AWP that was dropped there by Alu towards the connector side. And now the waiting game. Peeking out of the top connector there, bottom connector is going to be Sergey, and the timing was certainly on his side. RPK was looking towards top mid. And now we look at Ence with 8 rounds. A timeout coming in for Vitality. They're going to try to end this now.
Yeah, their first timeout as well. I mean, this is the only point. I say they've been pressured, but even then, you know, it's just a few rounds in a row from Ence on this CT side. Vitality just wanting to make sure they can close it before it gets scary, because once you do hit those double digits, yeah, that's when you're beginning to worry for Vitality. There is a real chance, and Ence are close behind. That being said, what is Vitality's game plan? Are they just going to yeet their way into that B site again that was successful with the half buy on the MAC-10s?
Always yeeting around.
That's the sad part for Ence, right? Is like no matter what they do now, no matter how close they get this, no one can ever stop giving less than 100% until they hit that overtime, you know? And even then, you've got to keep on going. Yeah, you've got to keep going longer than that. All it's going to take is one extra large bit of effort from someone like ZywOo, and this whole game could draw to a close. So, Ence, you know, all eyes are on them. They cannot afford to make any sort of mistakes here. Sunny trying to get out of danger down towards Connector, and he does get away. Double nade down into mid, finds some damage onto Apex. And Masuta.
Keep your eye on Shox as well. He bought no utility in this round. That's because he's waiting for the perfect time to run out ramp. He's been waiting there since the start. And when the opportunity presents itself, he will be able to go into that A site and wreak havoc with the Krieg. But right now, Vitality haven't really picked themselves up an opening. Instead, they've lost it. Apex going down in the connector, getting very burnt in that Molotov. And if they boost here, they're going to be boosting into the orb. So got to be very careful here if you're Vitality. Sunny's even trying to force fights. That won't go his way.
Yeah, he's certainly going to catch the blunt end there of RPK. Sunny falls, does give us a 4v4, back to even strength across the board. 8 rifles still in this round. And Vitality, with mid control, haven't elected to go for that window boost just yet. Hugo said it. There is an op waiting for them on the other side of that.
Yeah, we know this play is coming in towards A, and so this movement of bodies towards here from Ence is fantastic. Aerial's already in position over towards jungle, and his head is on a swivel, locks it down. A 9th round for Ence there on the back of Aerial, as he gives them a pretty good reception on that push into the A bomb site. Team Vitality, they're going to be left kicking themselves a little bit there. You could tell that that was going to be the A play. They had no one over towards that B bomb site. They had Shox, as Hugo pointed out, waiting towards ramp, and they were holding both top mid and lower tunnels, so they were very aware of the no presence over towards that B bomb site in the Vitality camp. They had to go to A, and so Ence had a great read there on that entire situation.
This is such a weird game, man. We're not seeing any of the standard rounds that we expect so commonly in a game of Mirage. We haven't seen those traditional A set pieces with 3 smokes and just going for a bomb plant and maybe sending in a mid lurk to, you know, come in through connector late. We haven't seen many B rushes. Vitality won one round with that Mach 10 buy on B. Ence typically just went 1 by 1 as Vitality's utility cut them down in the B apartments in that first half. But yeah, it's been heavy focus on middle and just going for these splits. So let's see if it finally works out for Vitality, or if Ence can actually do the impossible and get us another 6 rounds to overtime. I don't want to count them out at this point because, you know, again, with Vitality not having their in-game leader, not having Alex making changes, there's always that chance that they could let this one slip away without having, you know, necessarily the depth strategically.
Oh boy. Well, that looked fun. I enjoyed that ride. Thank you, Shox. Does find himself up catwalk now, Deagle in hand. And he's going to turn the corner where in which Aerial is just waiting on him with the AK. So that is certainly not part of the plan. That's not how you open up bomb sites. 2 Deagles and a P250 are left alive here for Vitality. They're going to try to work their way up cat.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh dear, this could fall apart here. Apex has found himself a couple of kills and there's no one here to stop him. Yeah, that's free money and a gun. Not a bad investment at all, but you know, this is where Ence should surely close it out.
Yeah, he's claimed the free real estate, but the rest is not coming through, and this is a round for the Ence side. 10 to 15 now, 5 between them and Team Vitality. This would be incredible, considering that there was a time where this was 13-0 in favor of Team Vitality, and it looked like they were gonna 16-0 this map. You know, Ence, to say that they can't be, you know, like too hard on themselves, okay, maybe they shouldn't have ever let it get to a 13-0 scoreline in the first place, but this recovery's been great, you know, in and of itself. They've been able to stumble back to their feet. They remain resilient. Everyone's still playing, you know, like no one's kind of got that like look where it feels like they're going through the motions, you know, and they're just playing out the rest of the game for the sake of playing the rest of the game. Now, these guys are doing a stellar job, and they're looking to try and turn this around and take it to overtime. And honestly, it's not looking that bad for the odds right now.
Yeah, we were talking about mid-control here from the side of Vitality. It looks like Ence is going to have a response for this in this round. And obviously, utility use on the top of the site. It's going to leave a little bit of an opening here towards A, at least for the utility to fly over in that way. Looks like an A split. Bomb's going to back up off the ramp. Looking to go towards Palace now. So let's see what they're up to.
Yeah, just all bad timing. Two players pushing into the palace as one leaves. Sergey is playing it on a timing though. He's going to go back, and they're not ready for the repeat. Trade is there though, but that's information for Sergey. The bomb has been spotted, and Sunny is in a perfect position to shut this round down. 2 kills, bomb flying off of the balcony. The AWP can't save the day, but it can come in late for a trade. Is that enough though? ZywOo and Apex in a 2-on-3.
Okay, we got to say his name 3 times to deliver something big. ZywOo, ZywOo, ZywOo. But no, instead I've got him killed. It's the death note. I've said his name, and he's gone. But maybe it's Apex who I should have been singing praises of all along, because he's going to take the victory for Team Vitality 16-10 as Apex and ZywOo make it so.
Certainly that. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, the conclusion of the first map here of this series. Vitality finding their footing early on. I'm going to